All right, let's dive right in. What if I told you that the hard science of the universe, like the literal building blocks of reality, holds the exact blueprint for building your personal wealth? I know, it sounds a bit out there, but we aren't talking about mystical theories today. We're looking at grounded source material that connects the actual mechanics of subatomic particles directly to the mechanics of money. Welcome to the Explainer. So you're probably thinking, what on earth does quantum physics have to do with my bank account? It sounds totally absurd at first, right? Usually, when we think of wealth, we're picturing spreadsheets, hard labor, and trying to time the market. We think of money as this physical, solid, scarce thing. But the sources we're unpacking today completely flip that assumption on its head. They reveal that wealth creation is actually governed by the exact same energetic laws that govern literally everything else in the universe. Here is a quick roadmap for today's explainer. 1. Money is just an illusion. 2. The quantum physics of wealth. 3. Observation creates your reality. 4. Stop chasing, start attracting. And 5. The geometric domino effect. Let's get to it. Okay, starting with section 1. Money is just an illusion, the paradigm shift. As the author Wallace D. Wattles notes, money is basically a shadow of something else. It's not real in and of itself. It's just a physical representation of internal value. Think about it, a $100 bill. It's just a piece of paper with some ink on it. It's us, the observers, who collectively agree to give it any value. Money is simply the legal tender we use to exchange value. It is the symptom, not the cause. Picture this, two people, both bringing in exactly $500,000 a year. The external number is identical, but person A is totally calm, generous, and sees money merely as a tool. They're operating from what we'd call a consciousness of abundance. Now look at person B. They earn that exact same amount, but they're stressed out, constantly terrified of losing it, and hoarding every single penny. They are living in a consciousness of lack. By the definition of our sources, person B is actually living in poverty, just with a bigger bank account. The external money is just the shadow. Your internal state of being is what actually dictates your wealth. Moving right along to section 2, the quantum physics of wealth. Let's look at the science of energy. If we zoom way, way in on what you, me, a tree, or even a dollar bill are made of, we get down to cells, then molecules, then atoms, and finally, subatomic particles. But here's the really wild part. Subatomic particles are not solid little objects like grains of sand. Nope, they are packets of energy, or quanta, that exist as mere probabilities spread across space and time. So everything in the universe, including the money sitting in your bank account, is just vibrating energy. Good old Einstein's famous equation proves a crucial point here. All physical matter is simply a massive amount of energy arranged together. And because everything is just energy, everything is completely fluid. There is no hard, solid, unchangeable reality. The entire universe is just a giant shifting ocean of energy, and that energy is deeply influenced by information and observation. Now, you might be wondering, if everything is just flashing energy probabilities, why does my desk feel so solid? Think of a TV screen. When you're watching a movie, you see a smooth, continuous image of, say, a person walking. But in reality, it's just 24 slightly different still frames flashing every single second. Your eyes just can't detect the gap, so it creates the illusion of a solid, continuous reality. Well, the physical world works exactly the same way. It is a rapid flash of energy packets that totally tricks our five senses into seeing solid objects. Which brings us to section 3. Observation creates your reality, the power of focus. In quantum physics, a particle exists as a wave of probability until someone observes it. The actual act of observation quite literally collapses that probability into a definite physical thing at a specific point in space and time. And this is exactly where wealth consciousness comes into play. Your internal state of being, your consciousness, acts as the observer. When you exercise an internal value of abundance, you are quite literally collapsing the probability of wealth into your physical reality. It just automatically reflects on the outside. Okay, so how do we practically observe this into existence? Our sources outline what they call the sequence of creation, and it starts with being. You see, you can't do happiness or wealth. You have to be it first. Being is the absolute fastest way to create because it causes an instant energetic shift. From your state of being comes your thinking. From thinking comes your speaking, and finally, doing. Your physical actions are really just the very last step in a chain reaction that started internally. If you try to reverse this, like looking at an empty bank account and letting that dictate how you feel, you completely short-circuit the system. To arrange these quantum particles into the reality you actually want, you need 3 specific energetic commands: desire, intend, and know it's possible. Notice I didn't say beg or want. You don't beg from a place of lack, because wanting just reinforces the underlying belief that you don't have it. Instead, you desire it, you intend it with crystal clear focus, and you know with absolute unwavering certainty that it's possible. All right, section 4, stop chasing, start attracting the mechanics of energy. Money is literally like a mischievous cat. If you run around the neighborhood chasing a cat, what does it do? It runs away, it hides up a tree. But if you ignore it and focus on what attracts the cat, maybe you just sit calmly with a treat in your hand, that cat will stroll right over and sit in your lap. Chasing money comes directly from a consciousness of lack, and it does nothing but push wealth further away. So what's the treat that attracts the money cat? It's value. Money simply isn't attracted to selfish people or businesses operating out of scarcity. It's naturally attracted to businesses that solve real problems, solve needs massively, and money massively attracts. The amount of money in your life right now is merely a reflection of the amount of value you've provided to others. That is the physical action that aligns perfectly with a quantum state of abundance. And finally, section 5, the geometric domino effect, exponential growth. Check out the physics of a domino fall. Back in 1983, a physicist discovered that a single domino can not only knock over another domino, but it can knock over one that is 50% larger than itself. So you start with a tiny 2-inch domino, and it has the stored potential energy to topple a 3-inch domino, and so on. Success is sequential, it's not simultaneous. You do the one right thing, and it knocks over the next, slightly bigger thing. If you chart this out as a geometric progression, the math is absolutely staggering. By the 18th domino, you're knocking over something the size of the Leaning Tower of Pisa. By the 31st, it looms 3,000 feet above Mount Everest. And the 57th domino, it practically bridges the distance between the Earth and the Moon. I mean, that is just mind-blowing. When you align your daily actions and focus your energy on a singular priority over time, the growth becomes totally exponential. So the really crucial point here is how you harness this energy every single day. Highly successful people understand that life doesn't just automatically line the dominoes up for you. Every morning, you have to line up your priorities anew. You have to find that lead domino, your one thing, and whack away at it until it falls. This concentrated, laser-like focus is the ultimate real-world application of the intention and observation we've been talking about. Let's pull all these threads together. Quantum physics tells us that all possibilities exist right now, in this eternal moment. Time, much like solid matter, is just an illusion. The wealthy version of you, the version that has lined up all the dominoes and created massive value, already exists as a probability in the quantum field today. You don't have to build it from scratch. You just have to shift your consciousness to wake up to it. So I'll leave you with this one final, profound question. Which reality are you going to choose to observe today? Will you observe lack, fear, and the illusion of scarcity? Or are you going to command the universe with intention, line up your lead domino, and literally observe your wealth into existence? The choice and the physics are entirely in your hands. Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.